Rogue Squadron, the best of the best. The elite pilots of the rebellion, pushing their limits of their X-Wings against the Empire's forces. Now, while the films gave us just a glimpse of their heroics, it was in the X-Wing Rogue Squadron books that we saw their skill and talent truly soar. Now today, we're going to dive into the first 3 books of the Rogue Squadron series. Now the first book of the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series takes place with Wedge Antilles reforming Rogue Squadron after the fall of the Empire. But instead of battle-hardened veterans, the squadron now consists of a couple rookies and some new pilots. They each have their own skills, conflicts, and things to bring to the table, but they're still new. The most notable of these new recruits was a man named Corran Horn, a cocky but talented pilot from Corellia. Now, as the squadron trains, they also embark on some missions to try and weaken the grasp of the Empire's warlords that are still around the galaxy. But lurking in the shadows is Isan Eishart, the former head of Imperial Intelligence, holding the strings to ensure the squadron's demise. This first book is fast-paced, packed with some daring battles, some really important conflicts, and the thrill of being an X-pilot. Now, I've been listening to the audiobooks, and let me tell you, driving while listening to an epic X-Wing fight is a little dangerous, because it's almost as if I feel like I'm in an X-Wing, but I'm actually on the freeway, but I'm driving as if I'm in an X-Wing fight. A dogfight. Now that's just not safe. Now let's move on to book 2. So book 1 was called Rogue Squadron, but book 2 is called Wedge's Gamble. Okay, and this one they're placed with a very important mission of covertly infiltrating Coruscant, which is still under Imperial control. And if actually it's called Imperial Center, but it's like still Empire strong. Now, instead of the pure dogfighting we kind of got in Rogue Squadron, this book is purely espionage, as these pilots have to go undercover to infiltrate this Imperial world. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This was a really good book. I love spies, and when you tie in Star Wars and spies, how could you get any better than that? And I'm surprised because after reading so many High Republic books, I got used to having Jedi in my stories. Now, I won't spoil it, but there are some Force sensitivity hints that I've been getting from one of the characters. And I'm pretty sure, and I was assumed correctly, that they have some Jedi ties. You might know who I'm talking about. Now, this one is pretty intense. It ends at a really important cliffhanger that you're not sure how they're gonna recover from. Now, we get into book 3 with Krytos Trap, okay? Now, this book, oh my gosh, I was hooked. And I've already been hooked into the Rogue Squadron because I've read the first 2 books, but this one, I kid you not, I couldn't stop listening to it. I couldn't stop reading it. I was just that hooked into this book. It was intense. It still takes place on Coruscant, and there are some espionage things that go on, but you really start to see the cruelty of the Empire and just the daring bravery of some of these rebels. We shift from space combat to political intrigue to courtroom drama and a really intense plot twisting prison escape. It's where the series really proves that being a rebel is more than just about dogfights. It's about trust. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, and the true cost of war. And here's a little nugget of information. If you truly understood the size of a super Star Destroyer, imagine one just popping out of your suburb. One day, it just starts to unbury itself, destroying square kilometers of landmass, buildings, residents. I may have just ruined the plot there, but I'm not spilling any more beans. You need to read this. Now, the X-Wing Rogue Squadron series isn't just some of the best Star Wars books I've ever read. They're some of the best sci-fi military-based books I have gotten my hands on. They show us the grit, the danger, the true cost of being a rebel. And it takes place beyond any stories of Jedi or Sith, which is super interesting because I love Jedi, and that's the main focus of Star Wars, but the whole galaxy isn't a Jedi or a Sith, right? There are so many average rebels and people who are pilots, who are conductors, who are political party leaders, things like that. Now, if you're a true Star Wars fan and you haven't read them, get on it. These are amazing. You can download Libby and read them for free. That's a resource, or you can go straight to Audible and dive into it too. The best audiobook publisher I've experienced is from Penguin Random House Audio, especially if it's Mark Thompson doing the narration. That man's voice, he does so good. He does so good at making these characters come to life, and they add sound effects. They make it a movie in your mind, okay? This is the way to go if you're doing audiobooks. Reading is good too. I have paperbacks, but Penguin Random House Audio, get on it. Get on them. Now, if you read Rogue Squadron, what do you think? How would you like this series? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Star Wars book content, other Star Wars content, and overall nerdiness stuff. And join me next time as we take more deep dives into a galaxy far, far away. Thanks for watching.